Right, let's give it a go and see how we get on. Right, good evening everyone, John JMC here. Obviously missed the live stream last week because I was busy with family stuff. Obviously I felt that I needed to do a live stream this evening, here I am. Obviously I couldn't do one next Sunday because obviously I'll be at Getz. If you are at Getz, come say hello. I will be with the Hornby Mag team for the whole weekend, running some layouts, running some TT stuff actually. So yeah, TT 120. Do we think it's going to go anywhere? Do we think it's going to be any good or anything like that? So far, I've done an 08 for Hornby Magazine, which we'll see running next week. So that's an 08 with sound. I put some lights on it and I put a cab light in it, etc. It's actually got a small 00 scale figure in it because I didn't have any TT figures. There is a person inside it. I can't deal with locos that don't have a crew in, shall we say. I do have a TT Duchess, which is just up here on the layout at the moment in a million pieces. All of that will be revealed at some point. I've got to be honest, it's kind of an attractive scale. It's one of those things that I do find the actual scale, the size, is really quite nice. There's just not enough of a range in it at the moment. So yeah, hopefully more of a range will come out, and we'll get to see a bit more from manufacturers, etc. So as you can see, the layout is in night mode at the moment. So we've got a few people dropping in the chat already. Clybridge, thank you. And first one in, Nikki, good evening, mate. Keith, good evening. Good evening, New Junction. And how's it going? You're right. How's it going? You're right. Okay. Not really sure on that one, but anyway. Cheers, Alex. I'm glad you're in the chat, and welcome to the live stream this evening. So, TS Railways, good evening, mate. Really good to meet you the other day at the North York Moors Railway and have a little catch up. Can't watch tonight as I'm sim racing. Bummer. Never mind, mate. So hope you and your other half are well. I'm struggling like crazy to remember her name. I'm really sorry. I hope you both are well. I hope you enjoyed your weekend and I hope you're all well. Robbie Woo, good evening. And Dave Dave R84, good evening, John, and I hope you all are well. Really well. Just basically gearing up for what's going to be a manic weekend next weekend. Got a very short week this week as well, because I'm out 2 days this week. So that's going to keep me very busy. So obviously, people on the Facebook will obviously know that tomorrow we, as in Ellis Clark Trains, we're off to Beamish for the day. So that'll be a entertaining day, lots to do, lots to see, etc. I've never actually made it all the way around Beamish, so I'm quite excited. So I'm hoping to get round it a little bit more than I usually do. But I'll be up there at silly o'clock in the morning, probably before everyone else arrives actually, because for me it makes more sense for me to go straight up to Beamish as opposed to go to the office, catch the minibus with everybody else. But yeah, so it should be lots and lots of fun tomorrow. And then of course Wednesday, that's another day on the road, but we'll leave that one aside. Tim Mosen, good evening, mate. Everybody hear me all right? Sorry, I didn't actually check that. Two of the microphones are turned off, but that doesn't matter. The main one is this one in front of me, and that is on, so I'm happy about that. I didn't actually check to see if anybody could hear me. I take it you all can see me anyway. But there we go. So, what's happened to the railway? Well, if I'm honest, not a lot. I am finding it incredibly hard to get motivated with things at the moment. It's certainly keeping me busy, and I spend a lot of time out here. And then, of course, when my day finishes, it's then a case of, do I want to actually sit here and do more work on the layout? Well, the honest answer is, yeah, of course I want to get on with the layout, and of course I want to progress things, but sometimes you just need to step away from it for just a minute. So the diesel depot that I showed you guys last time, that's not really progressed much further, if I'm honest. The second half, the extension piece, has arrived now. So that will be kind of earmarked to be built at some point. So fingers crossed I can get on with that at some point. The other plan I've kind of got is that kind of area that I kind of earmarked to be sort of carriage sidings, etc. I'm kind of changing my mind at the moment. I want that to kind of be a usable area in the diesel depot for things like oil wagons, the tanker wagons and all that sort of stuff. So I'm kind of, for like fueling points and that kind of thing. So I'm kind of rethinking that design a little bit. This might actually inspire me to get on with this. I talked about doing a lower section, so if I just go to my Mi Cam a second. Oh, that's terribly out of focus, isn't it? Might be because of the light, I'm not sure why. But yeah, so basically, as you can see underneath there, that's basically the layout. Sorry, I'll try and do it in a way that you can see. But that's basically the layout up the top there. And then what I'm thinking of doing is just dropping a track down on the inside loop there, and then coming down onto a lower baseboard. And the lower baseboard is basically going to be carriage sidings, etc., or a fiddle yard, basically, is probably the best way to explain it. So that's kind of the plan I have. So yeah, need to crack on with that. Sorry, looking at something on my desk thinking, what on earth's that? Yeah, so lots of different things happening, lots of plans. Need to get some enthusiasm. I mean, yesterday I spent a lot of the day cutting up the old rotten timber sleepers that we've got outside in our garden, because we've got like 2 tiers to our garden. So it's sort of divided up and they're built up by like a sleeper wall, that kind of thing, but a lot of them have rotted through, so yeah. Changed all that kind of thing. Which speaker do you have? Oh, sorry. Tim, do you have a recommendation for a speaker in a Hornby Class 08? Yes, I do, actually. I don't know if I've got one. I will show you it, if I have one. I might have just used my last 2, actually, because I went shopping again at work. No, I haven't got one. So, pop on over to Roads and Rails. And basically order yourself a 20 by 20 speaker. What I can do is, give me a second, I will drop it in the chat. Ooh, I can't spell. No, really can't spell. Right, hang on. Un momento. I will drop it in the chat, because this is the best speaker I've found to use. So what you can do is you can basically, inside the model, depending on which one you've got, if you've got the DCC Sound fitted one, they came with like a 21 pin socket, or the other ones basically came with 8 pin sockets in them. Now what I've basically found is that post that the 8 pin socket sits onto, you can basically remove that socket and hardwire it into the model, etc, etc, and that gives you a lot more space. But on the side of that post where the 8 pin socket sits, there's a tiny little screw just on the side, and what you can do is basically undo that screw and remove that entire section, and that basically just reveals like the head of the gearbox. That way you can basically take this speaker, which I'll just drop in the chat now. You can basically take that speaker and you can mount it on the top of the post inside the locomotive. In actual fact, do you know what? I wonder. You little wonder. Hang on, let me just swap over my account a second. Oh, I do too much stuff. Pictures, 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 pictures. Bet I haven't got one. Oh, that's disappointing. I haven't got one. No. Maybe it's on my personal one. Hang on. Sorry, talk amongst yourselves. Bear with me a second, sorry. So, Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath, I did see you drop in. Good evening, and he says hello to everyone in the chat. Sareka Densa. Okay, good evening. Good evening. New people in the chat as well, by the looks of it. Not seen that name before. So welcome along. I'm John JMC. Clearly out of focus at the moment. Very out of focus at the moment, actually. Why? Why are you... It's because it's trying to focus on the little microphone at the front there. I did. Right. Hang on a second. So let me go to the screen. There we go. Right. So Tim, what I was saying about was basically this speaker can sit on the top there. You've basically got your motor gearbox and everything there. The screw itself is unfortunately on the other side, but it's basically just down on this side piece here. So you'll see it in there basically, and then you can basically undo that screw, remove that entire top mount sort of thing, and then you can basically plonk your speaker in there. It sounds really good in there, so yeah, it definitely will work really well there. So yeah, by all means. And that's the speaker in question for anyone that's not clicked on the link. But yeah, that's basically the speaker that I would recommend for inside them. I have my Green 08 and my John First Great Western 08. That's basically, both of those use that speaker inside there, so yeah, definitely recommend that one. Let's go to an actual camera. You can't really see it that well, but there is a couple of new locomotives that are moonlighting around the layout, so we'll see if anyone can spot them, that kind of thing. Anyone else been to Beamish? I did see a comment about someone saying they'd not been to Beamish. In 1991! You were 12. Wow. Didn't go back. Wow. Yeah, you might want to go again. You might want to go again, Clyde Bridge. It's definitely changed a lot since I was last there. Actually, I was last there in 2021 or 22. I can't remember. But yeah, needless to say, I ended up being dragged around by a toddler because someone had just learned how to walk. So I was holding her hand all day and being dragged around by her all day, actually. So that was quite funny. Probably why I didn't get to see much anyway. But yeah, just making notes on advice. John has given me the 08. How's you? I'm guessing that's a comment directed elsewhere. Evening all. Hey Dave, good evening. Oh wow. There's someone I've known for quite some time now. All the way back in the VXR days when I used to have a VXR. It's quite funny. So I hope you're well, mate. Thanks for dropping in. Raymond, good evening. Trying to find anybody else. Moneybrook Junction, good evening. Just lurking, listening to your live stream. Thanks very much. Peter Jackson Shield Heath, are you getting a new 2P locomotive? Well, I will wait and see is probably the word I would use for that. So I want to see them first. I'm one of these people now. I've got into this whole habit of I don't like to pre-order locomotives. I like this whole idea where stuff literally gets announced, turns up on your doorstep, and you can literally go and buy it there and then, sort of thing. because then you actually get to physically see it there and then. Yeah, needless to say, speaking of there and then items, obviously we've got the Lomax out from Ellis Clark Trains at the moment, which is pretty cool. I'm still yet to grab my 3 from work, actually, so I'm going for the LMS Grey, the Bauxite with the Midland numbering on it, and then I've gone for the Engineers Grey as well, so because that's a bit of all of them. They're all preserved, to be fair. All 3 of those are preserved, actually, I think. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, I need to grab those at some point. Lots of noisy things on the layout tonight, as you can hear in the background. Everything's very noisy. Wow. I would have called. I haven't been called Napper in years, mate. Wow, that's quite scary. That really takes me back. that's blinding. But yeah, back in those days, crikey, yeah, Napper. Wow, I haven't been called Napper in a long time, mate. So yeah. Question: have you had much dealings with N-gauge DCC conversions? Being more specific on some of the older Chinese, from Graham Farish. Yes, I have. There are ways to convert them to DCC. They're an absolute pain, if I'm honest. It involves basically stripping the entire model down to a chassis block, drilling a larger hole in the chassis block, and then insulating the top hat in there as well. There is actually a company that you can buy I think it's a top hat conversion or something like that. You can buy like a little conversion kit that basically gives you an insulated top hat for the motor. So yeah. 165 Andrew, Shortbread Express. You look 21. I look 21. Okay, I can assure you I'm definitely not. I'm very close to double that age, if I'm honest. Here we go. We're going to have some daylight now, as everything just adjusts itself and sorts itself out. That basically means that every single one of my cameras I'm going to go to now is going to blur everybody out. So yeah, just wait for the super exposure. It's mainly these smaller ones that don't like the colour. We can go through each camera now and just get them all set. Aha! So, keen eye minds you will spot that 165 Andrew. What? I'm confused. I don't know. Only issue with waiting till Loco arrives is most of the retailers won't allow monthly repayments, so you find yourself having to find £270 at a time. Yeah, that's pretty standard for the hobby, that kind of thing, but at least, I suppose that's one way of looking at it. If you're waiting for it, then at least you can save the money for it, but I quite like the fact that you can literally just drop it and go and get it there and then, because I'm not one for waiting, to be honest. I'm quite impatient, actually, when it comes to those sort of things, if I'm honest. But yeah. Yeah, I've heard of those top hat things you can buy. Can't decide if I should sell the older stuff. I'm going to be honest with you, Dave. And yeah, the honest answer would be is sell your older stuff. Sell your older stuff. And then you can basically buy new stuff that's basically designed for DCC. The biggest thing with DCC is it requires the best electrical pickups, the best motors, all this kind of stuff. And, you know, I wouldn't want you to go and get, like, a model, convert it and all this sort of stuff, and then have what I would consider a inferior experience of DCC. This was always my recommendation to a lot of people, so it's not just something I've just thought about off the top of my head. This is something I used to recommend even when I used to work in the shop and stuff. DCC is quite literally it's very sensitive, so it's a case of you lose power on your track and your wheel pickups and all this sort of stuff, and then of course the DCC's default is to go back to 0. So you basically end up with a loco that basically starts driving, stops, starts pulling away, stops, starts pulling away, stop, and it just keeps doing that all the time, and it gets a bit annoying after a while. So yeah, I mean, the honest answer to it would, if you want my recommendation, yes, it would be to go and get rid of your earlier models. Why did that snag on there? That's weird. Why did that snag on there? Yeah, so it would be to get rid of your earlier models and get a slightly better experience for the N-Gage sort of stuff as well. Jenna's got the Class 68 in N-Gage, and I managed to pick her up some of the TPE coaches to go with that 68 as well, so she's got the nice TPE rake. I also have that in 00, but it's a little bit big to run on this layout, but as I did the sound files for the 68 and the TPE coach set, I kind of have to have it, if you know what I mean. It kind of makes more sense to me to have them than not have them. But there we go. Did you get any of the Curascale 31s? No, I didn't. Kind of on the fence with that one. I currently have 14 of the Class 37s. I've got 3 of the 66s. And there's a new loco that's appeared, which is currently over there on the turntable at the moment. So yeah, I haven't quite made that step into buying the 31s yet. My biggest problem is I don't really like... I like the 31 and I like the blue with large yellow, full yellow ends and all this sort of stuff, but it's not really my kind of era. And yeah, I know you're going to laugh at me and say like you got loads of 37s that aren't really your era and all this sort of stuff, but I like the 37. 37 is my favourite diesel locomotive, so I'm going to make an exception for that if I'm honest. So yeah, yeah, quite interesting. I mean, I think I've got things like Class 70s and stuff like that as well, so yeah, I'm really not doing myself any good here, but there we go. If Curascale bring out 31.155 and 31.159, I'd be interested. Well, they keep promising us reruns of stuff and all that sort of stuff as well, so I dread to think that they've probably got some... I dare not think that they've probably got some more 37s coming or something like that. We've certainly got new Deltics. They're arriving very soon. I do have a purple Deltic coming, the Porterbrook one, Gordon Highlander. I say I've got one coming, but it's not actually for me. It's actually for the wife because she likes purple locomotives. So there we go. Do I like the Curascale Class 66? Yes, I do. I think it's a very good improvement. The updates that have been done to it from the Hattons, is it Hattons that did it? Can't remember now. Yeah, from the Hattons one. The improvements are definitely noticeable and they're definitely worth it. So well done to Curascale for doing that as well. They did downsize the speaker a little bit, which I know a few people sort of moaned about because they had an EM2 in the Hattons ones and they went to an EM1 in the Curascale one. If I'm honest, the EM2 in that model from the ones I've fitted before, there's absolute insane. It's so overkill. The sound that comes out of that model just dwarfs everything on the layout. So the fact that Curascale have gone and made the change to a slightly smaller speaker, yeah, I know people are probably going to think, oh no, he's talking about small speakers, etc. But honestly, for me, I think it was the right move for them. So yeah, very good move on their part, I reckon. Let's get this thing in the platform. It's just kind of sat there. I am trying to run trains, I promise. I'm not doing very well at it though. I just turned the sound down on that as well because that was absolutely ear-piercing. So yeah, the Eagle viewer amongst you have obviously spotted that there is a new Class 20 on the layout as well. It's an odd thing to moan about actually, but yeah, I do have a slight problem with the 20, and if I wanted to run my 03 at the same time, I'd have a bit of a problem. But yeah, there's stranger things to moan about, I'm sure. I might need to tell you what I'm moaning about, aren't I? Don't I really? So my Class 03 is Hang on, bear with me. My Class 03 is 2011, D2011. And of course, this new Class 20 I've got through is 20311. And of course, I always use the first two numbers and the last two numbers on my locomotives. So, yeah. Basically, I have two 2011s on my layout, which is a little bit annoying. So yeah, consequently, I'm going to have to change the number on. I'm going to have to change the number on one of them, I think. It's quite a funny problem to have, because I've got that many locos now that it's amazing that not. Well, actually, sorry, I do stand corrected. I do have another pair of locos that actually conflict, and one of them is actually that number 10,000 on there. So that is number 1,000 on the controller, and I do have a 1,000 Midland compound as well. So, yeah. I mean, I'm getting on the realms of 80-plus locomotives now. It's kind of getting a little bit out of hand, because obviously I've got so many locos now, and I don't have the rolling stock. I really don't have the rolling stock to cope with that many things, but anyway. There we go. Change it to pre-tops number, the Class 20. Could do, but it's the Harry Needle livery one. So yeah, I can't really do that. I'll probably have to do 2031. I'll probably have to do like the first four or something like that. I'll work it round, but to be honest, I can't envisage the 03 and the modern image Class 20 both being on the layout at the same time, so I might just be able to get away with it and call it quits there, that kind of thing. So, Peter Jackson, Cheadle Heath, I did miss this question earlier, so I do apologise about that, mate. John, will you be going to the Stafford, excuse me, can't read today, Statfold or Getz? Will you be working at an exhibition or layout? No, in actual fact, I will be going to Getz, and I will be helping Hornby Magazine run some layouts of theirs, basically, so that's pretty cool. What happened to the Class 10,000? What, the one they're actually building? Funny enough, they've just done the AGM, actually. It's on YouTube. I actually saw that this week, actually, so you can actually go and watch that. Fly Mode Chairman, I have seen you in the chat, so good evening, mate. Thanks for popping along as usual and doing your administrator role as you normally do for me. Hey, we're getting really bright in here now. But yeah, your opinions and advice are much prized, John. No worries about multitasking. Well, I try. I try is probably the word I would use. I don't usually get it right, but there we go. So, never mind. Right, let's get a train running. Should we get a train running? Let's go for it. Let's get a train running. So, no! You're going to the wrong show, Dave. You should come to the Milton Keynes one, because I'll be there. No, I can't make it to the Statfold Barn as well, so yeah, gutted I'll miss you, mate, but do enjoy the show. I hope it is a really good one for you. Dongal Dad Rail, good evening, mate. I hope you're well. I think I added you on Facebook this week. Okay, thanks. Are you taking orders for sound fitting? Or are you just going for... No, I'm literally there with Hornby Magazine, just helping them out with some layouts. I'm not taking orders for sound fitting or... no, nothing like that, basically. It's literally just a case of I'm just there doing my bit, that sort of thing. If I'm honest, I've got a lot of sound fitting that I need to catch up, which is my own personal stuff. Unfortunately, not having the motivation with the smaller layout, it's kind of bringing me to neglect... I should say, some of the stuff I need to get on with. So yeah, wondering if it's worthwhile switching to TT120, or I'm not a GWR man, Steam era, in my interest in knowing that there is nothing in the direction yet. I think it will get bigger. the TT120 stuff. It will get bigger, but at the moment, I get what you mean. It's not much of a There's not much of a thing to get on with at the moment. I do have one of the GWR HSTs, so they're basically moonlighting about as well. So yeah, but I mean the TT120 stuff is, for me, it's quite an attractive scale. I mean, I do have. I'll have to kind of. Sorry, it's kind of loose and kind of in bits at the moment. But I do have one of the TT120 Duchesses on the side that I'm doing some work on at the moment. I'll tell you what I can do. If I put the... I've actually got a new camera. Oh, hey. Desk cam. So, yeah, I mean, as I was saying, you know, you do get quite a cool little thing with it. You know, the model itself's quite nice and detailed. You know, you've got a nice little pop-out coal load there that you can basically put your Next 18 straight in the top, and there's a little speaker in the bottom. Note to that though, there is actually a bit of a defect with Hornby. When they put these things together, they don't seal the box that the speaker goes into. It's just basically screwed down loose, so there's lots of air gaps in it. So, you know, first thing to do is, you know, have that tender off. You know, and a couple of screws, tender comes off, and everything like that. And then basically this, got two screws there and there for basically remove that board, and then there's two screws there and there, and the top of the enclosure comes off. Just put some contact adhesive around that box and then put it back on, because that will make it sound so much better, because it will be a sealed enclosure, as opposed to air gaps and air leaks and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's kind of the thing going on at the moment with stuff. So yeah, hopefully that will make it. I say hopefully, honestly I'm really struggling for time at the moment. Hopefully that's going to be making it onto the layout at Getz for everyone to see. There'll be lots and lots of cool little trinky bits and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, has anybody spotted it yet? It's quite funny actually, because there's quite a few things going along that I'm waiting for people to spot. I don't want to say what they are, but I'm just waiting for people to say, hey, you've got one of those, or hey, what's that? So yeah, we're just kind of waiting at the moment for people to say it. So yeah, I mean, TT120, it's a very attractive scale. The size of things that you can do stuff with, the sort of the size kind of plays to your space available as well. Like if I was to do this in a TT120, this layout in a TT120, whoa, this would just be mega. This would be awesome as well, because obviously, like, I could run, like, you know, I could run decent length trains and all sorts of stuff. So it would be really, really cool. But there's just not enough. There's just not enough of a range for it yet. Oh, just come on, keep going. Someone. And the manufacturer somewhere and all this sort of stuff. Come on, do some TT120 stuff. Peter Jackson, Cheadle Heath with the win there. So yes, there is a GWR Manor that's appeared. That is actually an Acura scale Manor. So yeah. Plymouth Bridge. There goes the little truck. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. I do need to get 1,000 out the way. Right, we need to go to that one there. Oh dear, going the wrong way. Need to uncouple first. Thank you, I appreciate the help. Yep, it would be super if somebody else got on board with it. Yes, I completely agree. I do find it an attractive little scale, as I said, doing the 08 like I did, and again that will be out on the Hornby magazine layout at Getz. It's very cool. Excuse me. It is very cool scale. It's a nice scale. I don't think for the size, it's got a lot of things going for it for the size. But yeah, as I said, it just needs more manufacturers to get on board and start, doing stuff with it, that kind of thing. Why is this thing not moving? Come on. More power, that's why it wasn't moving. I love that Minitrix type of system road thing, neat. It's the Wiesmann system, actually. So yeah, I really do like the Wiesmann stuff. I'm waiting for the Wiesmann trucks are actually going to go down the other end, and then at this end I'm going to have the little Wiesmann Beetle, just basically pottering back and forth, that kind of thing. Oh, I've done something wrong. I've done something wrong. There we go. Can't do that. Right. We will get rid of the We will get rid of 1,000 or 10,000, should I say? Cobberton Junction. TT is also a true scale rather than a compromise of 00 or N. Yes, that is another cool thing with it as well. It is an attractive scale. It is really cool, actually. So yeah, I've noticed, Mark, also a number of channels that have definitely subbed found no longer I was. YouTube. That's interesting. I'm not entirely sure what's happening on there, but I mean, a lot of people might think that, oh, we didn't get a notification about this live stream tonight. Well, I only put it on at 6:30. So yeah, that would be why. Basically, right. I need to get a locomotive. We will have. Let's get rid of that one. Ah, so much fun trying to run trains, talk in the chat, control the layout. And not look like a Smurf. Right, so we need a steam locomotive. In that case, what we will have then let's have a manor. So, and of course, in true JMC style, this has had modifications to the speakers, basically, in the locomotives. So, yep. It's also currently running with a different sound file as well, actually. So this is currently the Locoman sound file. I do like the sound file itself. It's a little bit on the quiet side, especially with the speakers that I've got in there. But that's something I could address by talking to him, and it could be changed. So yeah, I'll have to have a chat with him and see if I can get that changed. The other thing I find quite interesting as well is the kind of layout of his mapping. It's a little bit weird and a little bit quirky. So yeah, I've changed a few things, and I know he won't be happy with me over that, but this is the way I like to run my engines, and I like to control my engines, so yeah, sorry. But yeah, so yeah, no, Locoman sound in this is pretty good. As I said, lovely. I love a Mana from Akira Scale. Got 2 of them. Well, this is my first one, actually. So yeah, I managed to find this one very nicely at the Clark Railworks as well. So yeah, that goes for the Class 20, the orange Class 20 in front of me there. That's also from Clark Railworks, and the J72 that's pottering around the layout tonight as well. That was also from Clark Railworks as well. Everybody getting a theme here, you know. It's always a danger for me going into the office, because I'll go and look at the shelves and I'll be like, ooh, actually, I've got one of these chips, so I'll have one of those. Or, oh, that's quite nice, I've always wanted one of those. And yeah, so the Akira Scale Mana has always been one that's kind of just kind of been there, and I've been sort of thinking, well, do I, don't I? I did have a Dapol Mana at one point that I sold to Ashley, that used to be on the channel. Unfortunately don't speak to them anymore, but yeah, I did used to have one of those. Let's go there, let's go there. Just waiting. Are both yours sound fitted? Where's he gone? Where's the comment gone? I can't see the comment now. Someone just commented and said they've got 2 of the Akira Scale Manas, and I cannot find the comment. Have you got sound in your ones, is the question I'm asking. Ian Jeffries is in the chat. Where is he? He's up there. Hey, evening Ian. Hope you're well, mate. Long time no speak. So, if anybody doesn't know, Ian's actually responsible for the turntable on my layout. I say responsible. He's responsible for the control system for it. Oh, don't made that out of focus, haven't I? So there we go. Yes, as Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath spotted, that is the Akira Scale Mana. It's quite nice, actually. We'll give it a run now. And of course, don't forget, if you are interested in some figures, you can purchase Little John JMC. This one just here. Ooh, gonna knock him over now. Gonna knock him over now. I just use the tacky wax stuff to stick my figures down, so I can always move them about. But yeah, you can now go onto the social media section in specials of Model U, and you can buy Little John JMC. Basically, not sure where my other one's gone now. Actually, ooh, lost him. Ooh. Now I know where he is. He's in a box. He's in a box somewhere. There he is. There he is. Sorry. Yeah. So little figures you can get from Model U, actually. And these went to Dan from Tunnel Lane, basically, to paint these for me. Basically, I did some work for him. He did these for me and everything. Very nice of him too. But honestly, he's done a cracking job on painting these, even down to the fact that I'm actually wearing a watch. I'm actually wearing a watch on the 3D scan, and he's actually picked it out. It's just mad. It's just a tiny little white dot with a black strap. So he's actually managed to paint the watch, which is crazy. I think cracking job there. Let's get the manor out of here. Ever so useful. Flymo again with the comments and the link there for Model U, guys. If you want to go and grab yourself some figures. I've got lots of figures that need painting at the moment, actually, from Model U. So, yeah. That's quite a nice bit of detail. It's astounding that he's managed to actually paint that. It just... honestly, just baffles me. It's like, how the heck has he managed to do that? I cannot paint. As silly as it sounds, it's like a dot of paint. But how do you get a dot of paint that small? It's just nuts. He's done that really well. Might need a few lights on the manor job. Well, there's always time yet. Admittedly, though, the circuit board inside it doesn't allow it. So I will have to modify things. And probably put my own circuit board in there actually to get it to do what I want it to do anyway. But hey ho, right. Let's go and get out of here. Change those points. But go back here. There we go. Oh. Alright. Wow. Here it is, the little J72. They're quite nice. So yeah, we got the little J72. I'm going to leave this till about 8:30. Someone has got to notice the other thing on the layout. Why does that not go across that? Oh, that's crap. Oh, that's good. Batman's locomotive doesn't actually run over my re-railer. That's incredibly useful. Suburban coaches. Pete, you are too good. Can you guess what they are, though? I'm sure you will in time. Not really. Well, you're kind of on the right path, though, but I really want somebody to guess what it is. So, to guess what they are, actually. So, yeah. You're close enough, though. The Suburban coaches are something that aren't out just yet. So these are some basically engineering samples that I've had. It's not this, definitely not the Rapido ones. Definitely not. No, this is right. In that case, I'm just going to say it. These are the Ellis Clark Quad Art coaches, basically. So these are basically some engineering samples that I have, and they've been basically they are basically here for testing. Because Muggins here did the electronics inside them, basically. So they are all illuminated, all lit up. They do look very good, very nice. A nice light level. Nearly derailed a loco then. No, they're basically, they're not even painted. Actually, they're just they are literally just engineering samples. So the roofs on them, for instance, that's not the right colour for them or anything. So yeah, you basically you'll have to wait for the final colours per se, but they do run beautifully. They look incredible. I mean, the artwork involved in them as well is absolutely... They look a bit orange, yes, well that's what I mean, they're not painted yet. So yeah, these are just, as I say, engineering samples, so there's no interior detailing in them or anything like that just yet. It is quite literally, they are just engineering samples for me to test the electronics in them. I did the electronics for them. Basically, so the circuit boards that are inside them basically will work with DC or DCC. They have little magnetic reed switches, which you get a nice little wand. Hang on. Which you get a nice little Ellis Clark Trains wand there, basically to turn the lights on and off, etc. They have stay alives in them as well, so of course I'm going to put stay alives in a coach. You know, why wouldn't I? But yeah, so basically, as I say, they are samples. It's quite entertaining in the sense that I've had to actually, before the live stream, I literally had to go, oh, hang on a second, are these going to be alright on my live stream tonight? So yes, I had to get permission. To run them basically. So yeah, they are lovely though. They run absolutely beautiful. I'll just slowly run them past the camera. Alan Price, good evening. Bit late all. Just got back from the Wakefield show. Hey! Oh, best visiting layout. Excellent. Totally worth it, to be honest. It's a good layout, that one. So, yeah, I'm not surprised you won, Alan. So, for those of you who have just missed it, basically this is my new J72, pulling some engineering samples of the Ellis Clark, the forthcoming Ellis Clark Quad Arts. Trying to see which camera's better, which camera's going to display them better. Not that one. But yeah, these are lovely. They run beautifully. They've got a good weight to them. All the springing's been done right. So yeah, it's absolutely wonderful. And sorry to name drop you, but Nikki, you are responsible for these coaches and how well they've turned out. I have just done the pure little electronics inside them. So there we go. That's all I've done. I've just done the electronics, but Nikki has designed them and drawn them all up, etc. And she's just done a cracking job. I mean, I am not an L&ER person at all. But those coaches are just, well, they're on my hit list, definitely, if not 2 rakes of them, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I'm a bit biased, because obviously I made the electronics inside them and all that sort of stuff, but they are so cool. I mean, I'm just watching them go along the track here, and they just look cool. They just look cool. There's nothing else like them out there. They're a nice rake of coaches. Yeah, call me biased, you know, but, you know, call me biased, but they are just fab. Yeah, I'm just going to let that just trundle past this camera at a nice slow speed and everything like that. So there you go. Nikki's actually in the chat, guys. So yeah, you can sing all your praise towards her for designing such an amazing looking coach. Because honestly, they are so cool. The detail level is really nice, really fine. And as I said, you can use the magnetic one to turn your coaches on and off as well. Unlike other coaches I've come across as well, these are actually been made so when you turn them off, if you turn them off and you turn your layout off, when you come back to them, your coaches will remain in the off state. They won't turn back on when you repower up the layout. So do remember that. because I'm sure there'll be quite a few people that turn their layout back on and go, why are my coaches working? Because you need to turn them back on with the wand. That's why. So yeah, there you go, guys. Do pay attention to them, because honestly they are amazing. I'm a little confused as to where the someone was a moron. I forgot I'd sent the 10,000 up there, and it was currently in the way. But yeah, the lighting on them is not too bright. It's quite subdued. I mean, you can see it quite clearly in the windows there as well. So yeah, it's a nice level of lighting. Oh, obviously there's something coming up behind it as well. Doesn't help with the light level, but you know, it's... Oh, look at that. You can see a reflection in the windows of the lights on the Class 20 there. That's quite entertaining. Now, one of the really cool perks of basically doing this job is that you do get cool things like this where you get to play with and check out and all this sort of stuff. But it is quite stressful at times. You know, there's been times at, you know, sort of 7 o'clock in the morning we're having to deal with things and emails and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it is time consuming, but I really am loving what I'm doing at the moment. It's so cool, and being involved with stuff like this is absolutely brilliant. So, hey, what's this? Tim, I bumped into Little Wicket Railways yesterday, John. He mentioned he tried to talk you into coming to the Telford show yesterday. He did try. I was just... Alright, I'm just going to say it. I was just lazy. You know, I've literally had so many weekends where I've been out and about, flat out, busy. I just wanted one weekend to myself. I know that sounds horrible, and you know, Rob's a really good friend of mine, and I get to see him next week as well at the Great Electric Train Show. So yeah, I'm you know. But there we go. No, they do look good. They are amazing. They are incredibly good. So yeah, sing your praises for Nikki in the chat, guys. She's definitely done a really nice job on them. She's got the springing rate right. They run beautifully. They're really nice. They haven't derailed not one single time on my layout, actually. You watch that now. I'm going to run them over a point that's set against me because I've said it now, won't I? But yeah, I've got this little thing to play with in my hand now, which is obviously Clark Railworks. There we go. Can't really see it, can you? But yeah, that's the little wand that comes with it. And with that, we get a mana back in the house. Ha Will other ones work with them? Yes, indeed they will. So literally, I can just take a magnet. I can just take a magnet like that one there, just plain old magnet, and just wipe it over the top, and that works absolutely fine. So any magnet will basically work them. For those wondering, I'm a Clark, not related to Ellis Clark. Excellent. See you at Getz. You certainly will see me at Getz next Saturday, Arranville. I will be there with Hornby Magazine, so I will see you there. Might have found another use for the Akira Scale 1 now. Talking about those coaches. You say that though. I do actually have an Akira Scale 1 here, brand new in a packet. It got sent to me by mistake, was probably the best way to explain it. But yeah, it's just basically stuck on the side down there, but there we go. So you will actually get this little Ellis Clark wand, this Clark Railworks wand with the actual coaches though, so don't worry about that. Where did that go? Ugh. It magnetically attached itself to loads of speakers. Let's get it in the station. Yeah. Yes, it does go nicely on a keyring as well, actually. I can see me attaching that on my car keys. And every time someone says, oh, I need a magnet or I need a wand, I'll just be like, ha ha! Quite funny. There we go. Right. So, now to try out another little feature. Because honestly, right, what is the point of setting up on your sound file what is the point in setting up on a sound file the uncoupling waltz, or sorry, setting a thing up to use the uncoupling cycle when you haven't actually got it active or programmed in? So yeah, and look at that, it works so well, doesn't it? Look at that, just absolutely friggin' fantastic. That's not a Cura scale, by the way. That's the sound file that I'm currently rocking in the. Wanderers wander off. Oh dear. So yeah, no, that's quite a cool little design feature. So yeah, you can literally put that around your car keys or a key or a hook on a thing or something like that. So yeah, at least you can keep it safe somewhere. So that'd be pretty cool. So Nikki there with a shameless plug for us all. So yeah, it's if it's Ellis Clark Trains or Clark Railworks production models, it's literally a case of it will be Nikki who designs them and CADs them and all that sort of stuff. It's myself that deals with all the electronics, and then it's Holly that deals with all the artwork. So basically all the just incredible working team and all this sort of stuff. We've got a researcher there named Sarah. She's wonderful as well. It's just, it's just. I think the best way to explain it is I'm so happy where I'm working at the moment. It's so nice to be really appreciated and included with everything. And I work away from home, so the fact that I'm 2 hours away and I still get included in things, hats off to Ellis for just looking after his staff so much. It's absolutely fantastic working there, it really is. Now to run some trains. What I might do with that, I might park that in the... Actually, yeah, I'm going to park that up. I'm going to park it up. I'm actually just going to park it back in the station, basically. Which you can't see, because the bay platform... Idiot. The bay platform's currently blocked. Basically just going to stick it in the bay platform. Like that, basically. How lovely. Right, we need something else to come out in its place. Let's go to the shed. My goodness, how is it 8 o'clock already? I've got an early start tomorrow morning as well, actually, so yeah, I probably should call it I probably should do an early night, to be honest, because I am up rather early to head up north. Let's get the Black 5 out. Arranville, love the truck going round. Yes. It's one of the Wiesmann, excuse me. It's one of the Wiesmann car motion trucks, basically. So the idea is eventually those trucks will end up in the other side, down at the diesel depot, and the little Beetle will be the one trundling up and down the layout here, actually. Oh my gosh. What has that done? What has that done to itself? Wow. Dear oh dear. What horror. What? Always away. Everything untested. I did see my mate Dave, who said he's got to go, so yeah, he's gone off. So yeah, Chris Jones, can't wait for the Class 31. There'll be plenty of them here fairly soon. So where's Jenna Model U? She was on the bridge. She's on the platform now, stood next to me. Aha. Yeah, Jenna is just there, Arranville. Stood next to me, basically. No, she will not be coming with me to Getz, unfortunately. She's got some previous engagements, basically, so yeah, bit of a shame. I would have liked it if she did come with us, but you know, she's got her commitments as well as I do, so there we go. Tim, what do I think of the DCC uncoupling system that Bachmann have introduced to their locos? Really cool. It's going to be a little game changer on things like the little 08s and the little shunter locomotives that we're used to. So yeah, someone had to do something, basically. Is the gaffer, I mean Jenna, going to Beamish? No. She's having a nice day at work, basically. Bam, bam, bam. You and me both, John, starting 6 a.m, topping carrots. Yeah, well, I'll be up at about 6 a.m. as well. Not far from basically getting my foot out the door, basically, at that point. So yeah, Arranville. I see you both on the platform. Yep, that's it. Hi, John, from me, Jake and Graham. Okay, very cool. Thanks, Haunted. Thanks for dropping in and coming hello. So everyone say hi to Jake. Just trying to make sure I see everything there. So Flymo with a great teamwork indeed, Nikki. Lovely stuff. We've got lots of cool things coming, guys. So honestly, keep your eye out. Keep your eye out on us. Basically, we've got some really cool stuff coming. What do I think of smoke generators for locomotives? Well, the honest answer to that is I don't think any of them are any good, to be honest. The biggest problem I have is, so the oil-filled ones, they're quite small in the sense of the actual time that they run for. They produce a lot of heat, so if it's not done correctly or you try and retrofit them into a model, you can damage your model. So for instance, that Black 5 that's sat on the platform there, if I was to fit a smoke generator in that, I would basically watch my chimney droop and warp and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, not a fan of the Sooth ones. They generate a lot of heat, and you know, if they're not done correctly, if they're not designed to go in the model correctly, then they're going to cause problems. A lot of people have gone over to these water vapor ones, so the water misters, the little piezo units. You know, it's quite entertaining seeing that coming into the 00 market now, because obviously we've been doing it for a long time in the 5-inch gauge. I mean, I had a Western nearly 8 years ago, and we had 2 of them in that. We had 2 smoke generators in that, which were the steam ones, the little water vapor ones. So yeah, it's quite funny now watching it coming into the 00 one. But again, you know, you watch the steam engine go down the track. It's a case of the steam disappears, it goes up in the air, and then it evaporates in the air. It doesn't go up and then drop back down over your engine and then just sort of cloud up across the track and all that sort of. It doesn't do that. So the honest answer to that is no. I don't think much of them. Alan Reynolds from Buckland Junction. Hi, John. I'm a newbie here. Nice layout there. And say hi to everyone in the chat from me. There you go. Look at that. Daz Faulkner. How do everyone? Good evening, mate. Thank you for dropping in and saying hello. Really do appreciate it. I appreciate the fact that everyone spends a Sunday night and all this sort of stuff. So the fact that a lot of you guys spend your Sunday nights watching me, it still baffles me. It still confuses me, but I am humbled nevertheless, in a sense. So thank you so much for all watching, everyone. And do drop a comment in the chat. I do like to say hello to everyone and try and, you know, keep in touch with everyone, etc. I might miss you in the chat, but do keep mentioning in the chat. If you put a question in there as well, that's cool. Nathan Miles, good evening, mate. Not seen you in the chat for quite some time, actually. Let's get this one out the way. Because we've got more important locos coming in. Aaronville makes a good point there. Yep, so you've got the... Is it the P2? No. Yeah, the P2 and the Hornby Flying Scotsman. They've both got those smoke generators fitted in. And they're tied in with HM7000, which actually, by the looks of it, seems to have the chuff rates tied in correctly and all this sort of stuff. So it actually works to the actual chuff rate, which is pretty cool. Bam, 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 bam. Haunted Railway just got in from Shildon. Yeah, that was another show that was on this weekend. You had the Shildon Locomotion show, actually. I hope it went really well for you guys, actually. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been up there, actually. And here we see, just pulling into the platform now. So just to get you guys all an update, basically these are some engineering samples of the forthcoming quad art coaches that Ellis Clark or Clark Railworks basically will be bringing out. So these are basically, don't judge them by them, these are basically engineering samples, so they're not painted. correctly, so things like the orange roof and all this sort of stuff, you won't have any of that on the real ones. These are basically just some engineering samples that have been sent to me for testing with the lighting inside them, basically, and I'm very happy to report the lighting in them is freaking awesome. But someone who shall remain nameless did it, so yeah, that's why I've got them, basically. Look, I want to point this out, right? Right, so that is the J72 from Bachmann, right? It is stuck. It is basically stuck on the uncoupling ramp. So these Pico uncoupling ramps, like this one here, up here, sorry, that one there, it's basically stuck on that. So I have to literally lift it up and over. All the things you ever think that will get stuck on an uncoupling ramp, a J72 is not one of them. Excuse me. I need some drink. Beverage of choice, water. There we go. How do Haunted, says Daz. Mick. Hi Alan R. Lots of people in the chat now. Well, that's not clever. Derailing things, yay. Should have actually stopped, but it didn't. Well, that should have stopped, and I don't know why it didn't, actually, so that's very bizarre. Starting to wonder, did I have this problem with the Black 5 last week, actually? I like those little quad arts as well because they just fit. They just fit in that station really nicely. It's a nice sort of. It'll be the chunky hook. No, it's not. It's actually the running plate. It's the. It's literally this underplate here. There is basically not enough room between that and the spacing and the spring detailing and all that sort of stuff, and it just basically goes and catches on the top of the hooks. So it's nothing to do with chunky hooks or anything like that. The hook is probably the only thing that clears, actually. It's a stupid design. Or maybe my couplers are stupid. Maybe I just need to invest in some better couplers, to be honest. Right, let's get the quad arts out of here. He says. Come on. Go, go, go. Leamington Station, good evening. Just got in from stripping down locomotion. It's been a cracking weekend. Fantastic. I like to hear that. Look at those lovely coaches. Oh. So yeah, for you guys that have just joined us, basically on camera you will see the forthcoming Ellis Clark Trains or Clark Railworks quad art coaches. These are absolutely superb, and I would be biased, I will be honest, because obviously I did the electronics inside them, so all the coach lighting, that's basically me. I'm hoping that the layout will go to nighttime mode, would be nice, because then at least we can see all the lights inside them, etc. Wouldn't that be nice? Come on, layout, catch up. I mean, it's only supposed to be an hour's daytime, so in theory we should see it go dark before the end of the live stream. In theory. An exclusive, that's probably one way to word it. I never thought of wording it like that, actually, Flymo. So yeah, an exclusive look at the Clark Railworks quad art coaches, basically. So that's pretty cool. I'll be honest, I did have to sort of like quickly message before the live stream and just be like, "Oh, am I okay to have these on my layout for this evening's live stream?" I didn't think. I literally walked out here to do the live stream and was like, "Oh, hang on a minute." So yeah, quick check with Ellis, and he was cool with it. So yeah, but they run beautifully, guys. They run really well. Round fourth and third radius. That's basically what I have on this layout here. I don't have any second radius on here, but I believe, and Nikki in the chat can correct me, but I believe they will go round second radius as well. But yeah, they are lovely coaches. I most certainly will be investing in a set, maybe two, because they are just so quirky and so different. And so yeah, basically I needed a J72 to run to go with them. So yeah, these are basically some engineering samples. So there's no paint or anything like that on them. You know, there's no final finish of the interior, or the interior detailing's not there or anything like that. This is purely just a set for me to basically have, just to try out the electronics inside them and to make sure that I am happy with the electronics on board these coaches before I basically say, hey, cool, excellent, I'm happy with the electronics in these, please go ahead, basically. And that's exactly what I've done this weekend. So these turned up Friday, and basically I've been testing them all weekend to make sure that I am happy with the performance of these coaches. Really, really happy with them. Really cool, really exciting. It's my first official project I've signed off at Ellis Clark Trains. So yeah, that's kind of an exciting thing for me. Really exciting. But yeah. So yeah, cool stuff basically happening all round, basically. Am I back up far enough? Nope. I can't remember where I need to have the coach lined up with. That sounds right. That sounds right to me. Yeah, that's pretty good. Tyler the Train Kid, good evening. Thank you for tuning in. That's certainly a new name I've never seen before in the chat. So thank you along this evening. Do remember to like and share, like and subscribe even, excuse me. And you can share it if you want to. But yeah, thanks for joining us this evening. It's great when you're not at a show. Oh, that bounced. When you're not at a show, you can hear them uncouple. Yeah, that's definitely the way they should work, isn't it? You can hear them uncouple. Oh no, what have I done there? Ah! Change that underneath the logo like a Wally. Jerry BBR, oh wow, according to YouTube, John JMC is live. I must pop over. Well, thank you. I appreciate the must pop over. We're quite busy here tonight in the sense of just trying to keep everything moving, etc. I currently have some engineering samples of some quad arts from Ellis Clark Trains on test on the layout. So yeah. Tyler, what inspired me to build my layout? Well, the long and short of it is I'm so used to having layouts, exhibition layouts, all over the place. So I used to have Halland, I used to have Byway MPD and all this sort of stuff, and it literally got to the point where all of a sudden, you know, me and my wife, we moved here in 2020 and all this sort of stuff, and I had this big space in the garage, and it was just like, well, I could finally build myself a home layout, which was such a novelty in its own. It was just super exciting, really. Oh, we've got the quad arts returning. In case you hadn't noticed, I've been here for the past hour. I'm really sorry, mate. I'm really sorry, Jerry BVR. Yeah, it's quite hard to catch up with the chat sometimes. Aha, look at this. See, I said it would go dark before the end of the live stream, and it's what it's doing. So yeah, you guys now get to see some really cool coach lighting. I mean, at the end of the day, it was quite a novelty in the sense that I thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool to build my own layout, Tyler? So, yeah, absolutely wicked. The amusing thing is obviously if you're new here, you obviously don't understand. The layout is actually here in front of me, so my hands are on the side of the layout now. You can literally see me in the background there on the camera. But yeah, the layout is actually above me, so it's all bolted onto the wall, basically, all the way round. And then, of course, because I felt like it was a case of, oh, let's just knock a brick out in the corner of the wall there and basically run all the way down the other end of the garage as well. So, yeah, it certainly keeps me busy. It's been a bit of a labour of love. It's been a bit of a labour of love, and yeah, I will eventually progress more with it and do loads more things. So there you go. But yeah, it's a very cool layout. I'm really happy with the way it's turning out. Point motors are a little bit noisy, if I'm honest, if I'm being overly critical about it, but there's so many of them now that it's just like it would cost me a fortune to replace them all, basically. But so never mind. It's things you learn as you go along as well. It's been quite a nice little learning experience for me. Like, I've never done multiple boosters before, and I didn't actually understand how critical it was that the boosters be within the same voltage of each other, actually. For some reason I had this disillusion that you could literally put multiple boosters of different makes, manufacturers and voltages all across the layout, and it really doesn't work like that at all. So there's some stuff that I've learned on the way as well, so that's been really quite useful to know. The point motors I use are the MTB MP1s, and basically originally I hooked them up to DR4018s, which were the DigiKeys ones. Obviously they've now gone out of business, so I'm now onto the Yamaroc versions, which is the YD6016, I want to say. No, I've probably got that wrong actually, but yeah, it's a very cool. Yeah, it's been a bit of a labour of love. It's been quite interesting trying to get over things. Obviously you can see all the cameras now. Originally when I built this layout, the cameras had no thought process or anything like that to them, so it's quite literally been a case of the cameras watching other YouTubers, people like Ollie from Wardle Restoration. He used to do a Wardle Wednesday, as he called it. And I used to watch him and watch all the multiple cameras all dotted around his layout and all this sort of stuff, and I thought that's a really cool idea actually. But it was more along the lines of, I just thought, wouldn't it be cool to document what I'm doing with the layout and document what sort of stuff I'm doing. I never expected it to turn into a bit of a YouTube channel. I never really expected it to go as far as it has. It was more a case of I just wanted to do it as a bit of a blog to myself, my do's and don'ts, my experiences, what I've learned, what I've taught myself, like this sort of thing. Now don't get me wrong, you know, I'm not a novice when it comes to this. I obviously do this sort of thing for a living. I've forgotten to change that point, so that's a really clever move there. So there you go, talk too much and you forget to change your point. But yeah, so it's quite literally a case of you just you come across things, you come across tips and all this sort of stuff. I like to be that person that does these things wrong, because at the end of the day it gives me something to talk about on my channel, but at the same token as well, it means that you, like people like yourself that's watching, you learn from my mistakes, you learn new things, etc. You learn what not to do, and of course it's always nice to be able to ask a question in the chat and get an answer from not only myself but anyone in the chat as well. Anyone in the chat is more than happy to answer the question, that kind of thing. So there you go, basically. Do I use the DR5000? I do use the DR5000, however it's been upgraded to the Yamaroc version, which is the YD7001. That's basically got the little adapter card in it, and then basically had all the firmware upgrades to the Yamaroc version. I do actually have a spare one in the drawer down there actually as well, which is my own personal one, and then we do have one for work as well. So I do like the what was the DR5000. It's pretty cool actually. Do you always have trains on the track, in the sheds, etc., or do you put them on when you want it? No, there's engines that basically are too big to go on my exhibition layouts, so they end up living on the layout per se. So things like the Duchess that you can see in the camera shot there, the Jubilee, the Black 5 that you see there, they tend to live on it. My Great Western stuff, things like my 94 XX and my new Manor that I've just got in front of me here, they tend to live on the layout, and rolling stock tends to live on the layout as well, that kind of thing. I do, however, need to get something out onto this train, so let's hurry along, shall we? Ooh, hey, oh. I was going a bit fast there. Fly Mode Chairman 1, yep, that's it. It's all about learning and enjoying and building layouts. Exactly. the one thing I love about this hobby is it's vast, and there are people that have better skill sets than me. There are people that don't have as good skill sets as me, but at the same token, you can literally find your kind of niche. Is probably the best way to explain it. And anything that you don't know or you need to learn, there are always people that are willing to help. And model railway clubs are a prime example. They are a great plethora of knowledge. You can get so much knowledge from people doing this, and I'm not one for shying away from like saying the stuff I do, the stuff I work with, etc. I mean, I work for Ellis Clark Trains. I'm basically the electronics design engineer for them. So any production models that come out now will have my electronics in. So things like our O-Gauge Black 5, unfortunately that came out before I came along. I would have made some interesting changes. I would probably the way I would word it, but I would have made some changes if it was me personally. So yeah, that's basically the way I do it. So IPA, cloths. Oh, someone did ask actually, how do I clean my track actually? How do I clean my track? Just basically good old fashioned elbow grease. So that is a Rail Pal from Tidy Track range. Basically it gives you an abrasive side and a smooth side, and basically that's the way I clean my track. I also have a wagon. I also have one of the Pico track cleaning wagons. So yeah, occasionally I will, probably once every 2 weeks, I will basically just send that round the layout. Basically I know I'm doing a live stream, so I will send it round the layout prior to the live stream. That was silly. Yeah, prior to the live stream, basically, just so I know that the track's all in good health, etc. All my locos tend to have stay alives on board, so they do deal with dirty track quite well. But obviously, the better you can make it, the cleaner you can make it, the better it's going to be for your locomotives, long term anyway. The Guru of Sound, yes, well, that is another name that I get from another channel. Yeah. So you might not have heard this before. The new people are watching, so if you go onto the Jenny Kirk channel, if I drop a comment in, she will call me the Guru of John JMC, our Guru of Sound, and she does a weird little salute thing. Don't really know the salute thing, but it's her channel, she can do what she likes. So here we go, we're going to go into night time. Oh dear, what's happened there? Tender came off. See, and you know, I don't get it right all the time. I don't spout to get it right all the time. I literally just do what I need to do. Hey, that's weird. I wanted that one. You'll see as well that a lot of my models in this case have lighting, etc. So you'll see the firebox glow inside the Duchess there, that kind of thing. So a lot of the buildings, they have lights involved in them. So the layout also does an hour daytime, and then basically uses a 10-minute transition to evening, and then basically goes to a half an hour nighttime. So that's basically what mode we're in at the moment. We are in basically half an hour nighttime. I say that. Yeah, we're in nighttime. Are we in nighttime? I can't really work it out. Maybe it's not quite nighttime just yet, but it's certainly getting. It's certainly getting there. It slowly transitions over, basically over the course of 10 minutes. The eagle-eyed viewer amongst you will obviously notice the... Let's turn that off a sec, hang on. You can obviously see the lights in the Quad Arc coaches across the bridge section just there. As well. Oh, look at that! Genji, good evening. Aha, there she is. Everyone spam the wife, say good evening to her. Yeah. I love the models with working lights. Just gives it extra realism. What about a layout with the extra lighting? As I say, it's all completely dark in here at the moment, so it's absolutely hilarious. So underneath my layout, I basically have lighting that runs all the way around the underside of the layout, as you can see behind me, etc. So all the top of the layout goes into darkness. So it's quite entertaining. Right, let's get. Let's get the Duchess out of here quickly. I really do need to work on my pub. As you can see, the light bleed through the pub is horrendous. So yeah, I really do need to work on that. Right, let's get the Duchess out of here. Go to the tunnel. What brand of track do I use? This is all Pico Code 75, Tyler. Can you run into problems with Stay Alive? Yes, of course you can. So some decoders might not be able to use the Stay Alive correctly. It's one of those things, really. I mean, you can put a Stay Alive in most sound locomotives. I say most because there are some that don't. But it's always a case of, you know, check with your model manufacturer, check with the sort of decoder manufacturer or something like that, or you know, people like myself. You know, there's Roman Rails. He's a good chap to go to. There's Digitrains, who I used to work for. There's lots of decent people out there that you can basically go and ask questions and say, hey, can you fit a Stay Alive to my model, etc. So yeah, right. Let's get, because I'm dying to get it in the platform. And show you guys the lighting in these coaches. So what ballast do I use? This is basically the fine grey blend with areas where it's basically darkened up by basically throwing some black in there, etc. So yeah, we've got the coaches coming into the platform now. Just to show you guys the nice lighting, etc. Tell you what I'll do, I'll stop the coaches there. But yeah, this is what I mean. You can basically see inside. They are basically just plastic shells inside. They haven't got the detailing. They haven't got the nice artwork that Holly's done inside them or anything like that. They are literally engineering samples for me just to test the lighting. That is the only reason I have these. So the roof is not orange on the real ones or anything like that. It's literally a case of, you know, they are. I'd love to have a working set here just to show you guys and, you know, spearhead the way for them and all this sort of stuff. I mean, you can see the luggage racks in there as well, that sort of thing. But yeah, they are quite literally. They just work. I like them a lot. Jerky locomotive there. Have I got the end? Is it the end that's got the open window? Oh no, it's the other end, unfortunately. Oh, it's the other end. I'm going to cheat, actually, because I'm running out of time, actually. Jerry BVR, John, I'm delighted to see that you've kept the lighting subdued. You see some models, the light is so bright that they can X-ray you. Well, yes, casing point, actually. Let's go and look at the Class 20 that's currently sat in the siding there with the red lights on. Look at them! Woo! They are some fiendishly bright lights. So yeah, no, I'm a big believer in getting the light level right and all this sort of stuff. It's been a lot of work. It was a project I started very early on with Ellis Clark, basically when I first joined them back in March. So yeah, it's taken this long to basically get the lighting how I want it, etc. What I can do as well, just for you guys as well, if I just back up, hang on, let me just back this up ever so quickly, put it in light engine mode so it'll move quicker. So yeah, this is what I was saying about the wand. Is it better on that camera? Sorry, I'm just trying to find out which camera is probably better for it. Maybe that one. I've gone and lost the wand. Right. One there. So yeah, it just basically turns them off. Turn them back on. Turn them off. I can't even remember. Sometimes I can't even remember which end the coaches are. But yeah, so I can literally go along. And turn each one off like that, basically. So that's basically the full rake of coaches off there. What's happened there? What you can't see, actually, let me just shoot it down the end. Woo! That's fast. Of course it gets stuck on that again. Stupid thing. The coaches don't have a problem with it. It's literally that loco. But yeah, let me just pull them in. Actually, this might be the way to do this. Hang on, give me 2 seconds. Not every day you're going to get permission to show them off, basically, so this is what I'm doing. So as you can see, the lights in the end there, at the moment, shove it just there. So those are basically the destination blinds, and you can actually turn them off. You can actually turn them off as well. And that's a separate light from the actual coach lighting, which is there. So yeah, there you go. You can do all the destination lighting as well, that sort of thing as well. So let's just turn them all back on now, shall we? I can remember which end's which. Ooh, turn that one off. So yeah, that's basically the coaches. Obviously, yes, I can appreciate you guys probably might see a little bit of the light bleed there, but I'll reiterate this yet again. They are engineering samples. Once those roofs are painted, they will be absolutely fine. So no need for a decoder. No, that also keeps the cost down as well by not doing the decoder. You've still got the option to turn them on and off as much as you want to with these. The other cool thing about these as well is if you turn them off, turn your layout off, and then come back to them the following day. If you power up your layout again, the coach lighting will not come on until you wave this wand. They remember that they are in the off state, and they will stay in the off state until you turn them back on with your wand. So just remember that, guys. But yeah, so the development in the hobby are really getting great and awesome. Thank you very much, Peter. I really appreciate that. Obviously, the actual general sort of overlook of the coaches and everything like that are all Nikki. The artwork is done by a lady called Holly. Holly's extremely talented. She's done some amazing work on the new Lomax that we've got available. So do by all means go and get yourself a Lomac, because honestly they are very nice wagons actually. And again, why do I need 3 Lomacs? I don't need 3 Lomacs, but I've gone and bought 3 Lomacs anyway. So it's comedy in itself. I don't need a set of quad art coaches, but I can guarantee you, because I've worked on them, I will want a set. I will want to give myself a set. It's just the commie, it's the camaraderie of it. It really is. Anyway, let's send these things out for one last time. Oh, or alternately I can crash them into a buffer stop. Hey, it wouldn't be the end of a live stream without something going wrong, would it? How long have I had this layout? This layout's been going since probably about 2020. So yeah, it's certainly been busy. Are there any tips you have for someone making a small layout? Well, I'll tell you what, in case of small layouts, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to do a roundy or an end-to-end? I have a small little exhibition layout called Byway MPD. Do look it up on YouTube. But that's basically a little 4'6" MPD layout, and it's... Sorry, there's a fly annoying me. But it's definitely worth investigating and have a look and that sort of thing. A loop, you say? I'm guessing 00 scale. By all means, check out track plans, check out stuff. Download yourself a copy of AnyRail as well. It's usually quite a useful tool to basically plan yourself a layout and see what you want to do with it, that kind of thing. There's lots of different ways to do it, etc. But, you know, at the end of the day, rule one, as Peter Jackson says, it's quite literally a case of you like it, you run it. Now, I've had all sorts on this layout, from Mark V TPE sets to steam locomotives such as the Rocket, and all these different things. I've had so many different things on this layout over the time. It gets a little bit silly after a while, but eventually you do kind of just get to this appreciation for it all. Right, so let me just go to the loop a second. Need to try and work out where things are in the dark, which is always fun, not. Oh yes, and the cameo thing is don't overcrowd it. And don't get me wrong, I am guilty for that myself. Certainly when I was drawing this layout up on AnyRail, I had track everywhere. It was absolutely stupid, and it was just like, I've got no room for buildings or anything like that. So quite literally, don't make the cameo mistake of just shoving track everywhere. There wouldn't be track everywhere in real life. It's quite literally a case of you'll have buildings, you'll have things everywhere dotted around. So by all means, don't make the same mistakes. You see some layouts and there's just track as far as the eye can see, and it just looks stupid. It does. I'm sorry. The real railways were never like that. They were very sparse. They were very sporadic. There weren't a lot to them. That's why I sort of ended up doing little sections, because it's literally a case of this layout has the station just in front of me here. It has a nice 2-track bridge section there. It has the main junction for going from to and fro. Then you've basically got the 2-track that goes all the way outside, but then at the same time you've got the engine shed on the other side as well. So there's lots of things going on. Oh, be quiet! You're spoiling the fun, Peter. God. Yes, Peter's right. This is what I mean. We were saying about this earlier. Rule 1. What could you possibly have more fun with? Little flicker as it goes across the auto reverse section. That looks so cool though, doesn't it? Look at look at those coach lights. Oh, that looks wicked. I'm really happy with them. I've not actually seen it from this angle, so that's actually really cool. I like that a lot. I might need to stop that though, because I'm going to run the point otherwise. That looks really cool. Very cool. Yeah. Right. It's already been spotted. There we go, and that will finish off the stream nicely for us this evening. I don't care how old you are, there is nothing better than a bit of classic Thomas the Tank Engine. So let's just get him through on the layout quickly, and that will bring the stream nicely to a close for us. Got a very bright light on the front of Thomas. Excellent. Lots of phrases in there from the actual show. Yep, yep, you're right there, Tyler. I have actually put sound in a Thomas the Tank Engine. It had to be done. It was bought for me as a jokey present. So my joke was, let me have some fun, and put full sound, lights, everything in a Thomas the Tank Engine, basically. So yeah, manufacturers worth going to. Acura Scale, definitely. Ellis Clark Trains, definitely, without a doubt. Bachmann. Hornby still do some really cool stuff. There's quite a few Hornby locos on here. So the Duchess you've seen this evening, the Black 5 you've seen on here this evening, that's all been literally, they're the Hornby locomotives, you know. I mean, you're spoilt for choice. In Double O, you are absolutely spoilt for choice. You really are. And Thomas can't run over the re-railer either. Do you know what? I'm going to take that off. Do you know what? For a little tiny piece of plastic, it's very annoying at times. So, but there we go, guys. Anyway, so that basically brings us to the end of the stream. I really do appreciate everyone tuning in tonight and watching. It's been it's been very fun. I've enjoyed myself this evening. I do need to get myself off to bed because I do have a very early start in the morning. And yeah, thanks again. Really do appreciate it. Hey, Hot Dog Pilot Andy, I didn't actually see you sneak in actually. So yeah, adios. Yeah. If you get a copy of the Railway Modeler or any other model magazines out there, Tyler, good sections. Yeah, excellent. So Peter Jackson, Cheadle Heath, good night. No, so yeah, basically that just brings me to the end of my stream, basically, guys. So cheer up, it's a beautiful day. No, thanks again, guys. Really do appreciate all your time. You know, everyone being here. It just amazes me that people want to sit there on a Sunday night and basically watch myself ramble on about my railway, what I do, what I'm doing, etc. You know, thanks so much. Really do appreciate it. Hope you guys liked the little exclusive with the Ellis Clark or Clark Railworks quad arc coaches as well. Obviously we've got some new locomotives, so we've got the Bachmann J72, we've got the Acura Scale Manor, we've got the Bachmann Class 20, which obviously we haven't run tonight. I'm still waiting for a sound file for that one. But yeah, basically, really do appreciate it. Obviously next Sunday is Getz, and I will be at Getz, so anyone that is at Getz, do come and say hello to me. I'll be on the Hornby magazine stand. Let me just check my diary, but I think the next one should be the 20th. No, it won't be the 20th because I'm away. I don't know when the next one's going to be then, to be honest. It might not be till the end of the month now. It might not be till the 27th or even the 3rd. I might have to miss the next one. Oh, that's disappointing. I'll try and do a video in the meantime for you guys to watch and comment on, etc. But yeah, anyway, must go. Take care, guys. Really do appreciate it again. See you later.